Downtown now. What
Yeah.
up,
Oh my goodness.
everybody? You are tuned in to your home for Edmonton Elks fan talk, the Elks Call. Uh, my name is Scout, aka the rep from Section X.
We're trying to figure out, and my name is Catherine, aka Do Even Elks. We're trying to figure out if our technical difficulties are still happening or not. So please let us know if we do see that there's a couple of people. Please let us know if this is absolutely horrible and laggy on your end.
Because it looks a little bit leggy on ours. That's it's a little bit interesting here.
It's been a couple of interesting days here in the Elks Call headquarters for sure.
HQ,
Okay,
HQ.
maybe take a look at the feed.
Well, I'm connected to the Bluetooth,
Oh,
so
right.
this is the interesting part of it. Nice. Okay. Well, the sound is great. As per Ryan Nervous, thank you very much for letting us know. Let's proceed forward with this show.
That's it.
Thanks a lot, everybody, for joining us tonight. We are coming to you live on Shotgun Sports Network with the replay airing exclusively on Edmonton Sports Talk. Kathy, the Edmonton Elks flopped on Sunday, didn't they?
Yes, it definitely has been one of the worst losses we've ever seen. But hey, I have faith in us, the fans, at least.
Faith.
Yes.
You know what? Horrible result, but we do have the best fans. We can't thank everybody again. Once again, can't thank everybody enough for joining us tonight. We're going to give you the show schedule. Here it is as follows. We're going to open up with the More You Didn't Know, where we talk to our guest about a variety of topics. Next, we're going to give you some Shotgun Sports updates, followed by Kathy's Herd Report, where we bring you the latest news and transactions in Double E land. After that, we're going to give you an Edmonton sports update, and then we are going to bring you green or gold. Is it green? Is it gold? Is it hot or is it not? And then finally, we're going to open up the fan forum where we talk about all sorts of topics in regards to the Elks and the CFL world as a whole. We are interactive, so please make sure you get your comments and questions into the herd chat. You know what to do. Brian Nervous is already in it.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
I made a little switch and I reduced the resolution in our camera, and it seems to be working a lot better.
It's the camera.
Hopefully that's what it is. Weird things are happening. I am blaming the computer and how old it is. We may have to be looking at a replacement sooner rather than later, so we'll take a look. But yes, let's get this rolling.
She's a little.
Let's get this rolling.
Yeah. Is it ever great to be live and not glitchy right now? So let's get this show rolling with the More You Didn't Know, where we had a guest go ahead and reschedule just for us and these problems that we're having with our feed. So thanks a lot to our guest. Let's bring him on here shortly. This segment is brought to you by Royal Retros. Go ahead and head over to royalretros.com and use code Shotgun Sports, all caps, no spaces, to save 10% off your order. They have CFLPA merchandise, CFL merchandise, not quite licensed on that one, but they do have throwbacks that greatly resemble your favorite teams, your favorite throwbacks. So head on over there, royalretros.com, code Shotgun Sports, all caps, no spaces. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show Edmonton sports fan and public address announcer for your Edmonton Elks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Graham Mosimann.
Hi, friends. How are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm not gonna lie. It's still really weird to hear people say public address announcer for the Edmonton Elks. It's never not cool, but it's still deeply strange. Also, okay, whatever. If it's not licensed, but you still want a Baltimore Stallions jersey, that's pretty. I'd buy a Baltimore Stallions jersey. So.
Oh yeah, they got the Kudas jerseys over there. They got the good stuff. Once again, that's royalretros.com. But hey, we're here to talk to Graham. We're really super appreciative of your time tonight. That whole fiasco last night where we were having issues. Sorry about all of that. I know you were.
It's the internet. The internet's dumb and broken sometimes, and that's okay. And we power on through. And it's great. And I'm super excited to be here. I love the show. So it's really fun to be here as a guest. I'm really excited.
Oh, thanks, man. Hey, sometimes we as people are broken. Sometimes our favorite sports teams are broken. We're going to talk about the controversial stuff later on, but let's get started with this. We ask all of our guests the same first question here. Where did your passion for sports come from, Graham?
Oh my God. You know what? I think a big part of it was just wanting to get noticed as the youngest of like 7 children. I love my dad very much, but he does collect children like we're pogs.
Oh my goodness.
So there's just a whole pile of us, and I was the second youngest, and so like a nice like a bonding sport moment was always sports, whether it was like listening to like Brian Hall call double E games, because we also lived way out in the country, like on a farm past Stony Plain. So the amount of time we would spend like driving to like football practice or hockey practice, you can do nothing but listen to the radio. So we it was kind of like mainlining Chad pretty much all the time. So yeah, that's kind of where it came from. But like even like my earliest sports memories are quite literally like sitting in Commonwealth, because like we didn't have a ton of money growing up, but like there was always money set aside for season tickets. So it was my dad, myself, occasionally 1 or 2 of my brothers, and then like a whole bunch of other family that were all in the same blob in Upper Section K. And like people would like come and go through the years, but like it was usually that core blob of like me, my dad, and then my little brother Levi. And so like I couldn't tell you how many hours I spent in Section K, row 64, seats 15 to 17.
That's so cool. So now, are you more excited about being the new PA announcer for the Edmonton Elks, or is your dad more excited?
50-50, solid 50-50. I mean, like I was I darn near almost cried when I got the news. And he was really stoked as well. It was really funny. I found out from like a few people around town that like knew me and knew my dad. It was like, they're like, "Oh, I saw your dad. Like the first thing he mentioned was like, you're the new Elks PA." And that was like really, dads, they're kind of like stoic and a little tough sometimes. So that was pretty cool. So it's solid 50-50.
That's awesome. How did it happen though? How did you end up? Did you apply for it and then you got the news? How did that?
Yeah, well, kind of, a bit of a roundabout way. Like when I first moved back to Edmonton, so I'm from Stony Plain. Like I was one of 2 babies born in the Stony Plain Hospital, many moons ago. Well, I guess not that many. I'm pretty young. It's just, I worked in FM radio. Like I was a Nate kid. I went out to like Fort McMurray, Grand Prairie, Winnipeg. When I was out in Winnipeg for a little bit, I did a little bit of part-time work with the Bombers. I did some work with the University of Lethbridge when I moved down there, and then just like kind of hosted a lot of like in-game host stuff for a lot of like minor and some university sports. And then I moved back to Edmonton to work at some radio stations here, who I'm no longer with. It was literally on a whim. I was like, "Hey, I'd like to work for the Elks. Maybe I don't know. I'll send an email, see if they need someone." And just like by kind of luck, the person was like, "Well, no, we don't." Like I was like, "I'd love to be like an announcer, a host, whatever you got. I don't care. I love to just be a part of things." And they were like, "Well, no, we don't have any of that. Those people are really well set, but we need a new PA spotter." And that's literally the person that like sits next to the PA announcer and like holds up binoculars and like reads out the play. So it'd be like and they're like, "You want to do that?" And I was like, "Sure, that sounds great." And so did that for 3 years. Then new ownership comes by, and I guess they wanted to kind of take a look at things, and I had kind of put my name forward a couple times if they ever wanted me to do more stuff, because I'd done some on camera work and some announcing with them already. And things just kind of happened. There's an audition process, and kind of went through all that, and then officially got the news, I want to say in late March.
Mhm.
Not late March, probably even around April. After just like checking in, being like, "Hey, like I'd love to come back as the spotter, but like if there's anything else, like let me know what I can do." And so yeah, it all kind of spiraled out from there. So then it was a little weird because like I deeply Corey Graham was the previous person that had this role. I deeply love him. He's a wonderful, wonderful human being. and I'm really grateful to have kind of worked with him for 3 years, and would have been happy to do it for the fourth, but things change and life moves on, and we still have a good relationship. So yeah, I wish there was some like crazy story. It was just like things just kind of happened, and things just kind of. I'm really happy we've done a lot of stuff with the team over the last couple of years, so it was really cool to kind of like move over kind of one chair from where I was, because I was also the PA announcer for Golden Bears and Pandas basketball last year. And Evan Dom, who used to do a bunch of stuff with the U of A before he came over to the Elks, I had asked him, I was like, hey, do you like know where I can get more announcing gigs? And he was like, here, let me call the U of A, set up an introduction. So I did kind of U of A stuff, covering all their basketball for a year, and then this kind of came up on top of a bunch of. I do a lot of PA around town. Like I do a lot of minor hockey as well. I do the Edmonton minors lacrosse, and then just kind of like pick up games here and there. So yeah, on top of like kind of doing this kind of part-time casually, this is just another one that came open, and it's literally been a dream come true so far. And games haven't gone quite our way yet, but like there's like a good energy around the team, even though it's been, last week was real bad, real not good.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that one.
Oh, do we have to?
No, don't worry. You don't have to talk about it. We will definitely have to.
Oh boy.
We would never put our guests in that position.
No.
Believe me.
It was, there's been better games that we've had. So yeah, that's the kind of long and short of it. And I mean, like for me, it's really cool and special. Like when I was a little guy, I used to like hide a radio piece like in my ears, and like literally just regurgitate what Brian Hall and Dave Campbell would say. And my uncle was like, damn, this 7-year-old's really smart. No, he's not. Really not.
That's so cool, though. That's really cool to hear, especially when it's something that you wanted to do since you were a little kid, and then suddenly, you've grown up and your dreams have been realized.
Yeah, in a really weird way. Like I went to Nate wanting to be Morley or Dave, on the play-by-play or announcing side, and like this is I've been doing play-by-play now for mostly for like hockey, some lacrosse, a little bit of football for about a year now, and that's been like really fun. But yeah, like the PA stuff is so cool, because I don't think this is. I also when Chris Sheets retired, I was like, hey, I would love to be the in-game host, and it ended up being Ryder, and it's like I was like obviously disappointed, but like Ryder's amazing, so like I can't be that hurt because he rocks. And so now that like this has happened and we're still like trying to figure out what our back and forth has been an interesting challenge, and it's weird because like I've thought about this stuff so much, but we're literally 4 games in. It's been 4 games, including the preseason. So there's still like a lot of runway to keep making things like as good as they can be, and trying to keep that stadium energy really good.
Well, exactly. And then, you have a task on your own. You're part of that team off the turf, right? And I mean, you've been doing a fantastic job. We love your calls. You've been fantastic out there. And I mean, Ryder, if you're going to lose out on that in-game host job to anybody, Ryder is one hell of a guy to lose it to. So It is what it is on that one.
Yeah, and like I don't know, I'm a big nerd. Like I'm a pretty spiritual guy. Like I'm a very firm believer in that like things happen for a reason, and like by creator puts things in the path that they should be for me. And having that not happen, then having this happen, I didn't see it at the time, but I'm a firm believer that things kind of happen as they're meant to. So it was really cool to kind of see that all kind of come through like a few years later.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's so cool. What is it like working for a professional sports team? Like, especially like, let's say with the Double E, and I know that you've had a couple of other part-time gigs as you had mentioned, like let's say with the Bombers, but how special is that? And what is it like? Does it sort of become just like every other job after a while?
I don't know about that. Like it's never, I mean, it's still, again, we're 4 games in, so I'm still figuring it out. I think the part where it like really hit is I got an email in the off season saying, hey, can you voice some stuff like you would a touchdown call? Because we want to put it on a commercial and we want to put that out for a thing. And then I did that, sent it off. And then a couple weeks later, this is probably TMI. It's fine. I hope. I started listening to podcasts in the shower all the time because I hook up my Bluetooth speaker, and I was listening to 31 Thoughts, I think, and they're like, they go for a break, and then an ad comes on, and I was like, oh, that sounds like a football game. Oh, hey, that's me. And I can like hear the recorded call that I had of like, and now you're starting quarterback number 2, Trey Ford, and I'm in the shower. So like that was a moment that was like, oh dang, okay, here we go. So that was like a pretty cool, like, okay, this is a real thing that's happening. I think the part that like always kind of feels like a little surreal is when like at fan day, I just had a few seconds to like go around and just like chatting with a few players and like walk out of them like, hey, I'm Graham, I'm the PA announcer. I've seen 17 different ways on how to pronounce your name. Can you tell me what it is? And then they do, and it's great. So yeah, it is never not kind of cool, especially for someone like grew up around the team. And I live like 3 blocks away from Commonwealth.
Oh,
so cool. Like I always see the stadium like whenever I leave for one of my other jobs. So yeah, it's work, but it's also, you know, I put a lot of love and care into wanting to make it like the best fan experience, because like, you know, it's been rough for a few years. I don't think there's a way to talk around that. Like it's been hard. And you know, I remember those pops you'd get even when I was a kid on like the Labor Day rematch day, when like out of AJ Gas friggin' demos Wayne McGarity, and then there's a fumble and the double E score. Like, and I remember like the sound and feel of the stadium. So like a part of me just like kind of wants to kind of bring some of that, you know, energy and vibe back, because I remember how cool it was for me as a kid. And I would really love that for like a young kid discovering football for the first time.
And you get to do that.
Yeah, and that's what I hope to do. So that's a really rambly answer, but I hope that makes sense.
No, it totally does.
Beautiful.
And that's the thing, right? I mean, I find that would be the hardest job, especially right now. We know that the franchise isn't where it should be. We know that there's been a few very difficult years. And to me, the most difficult part is, how do you make this fan base excited? Right? If we're not necessarily excited with what we're seeing on the field, like, how do we get that going? So I'll give props to you, Graham. Like, that must be a very difficult job. You know,
the BC game was tough. And like, I mean, I had what was my worst game so far. Like I tried some different things in the pregame that didn't work for my flow, and I kind of felt that. So like, it sucks to feel like I'm not doing my best, but like it's still a learning experience, right? So I think in those moments when like things are really not going great, I'm a big believer in that sports are fun and sports can be silly, and so to try to kind of influence like a little bit of that without going overboard is something I want to keep doing, and that's been going well so far. You know, it's a lot easier to kind of throw that in when you're, you know, winning against Ottawa and everyone's cooking and everyone's feeling awesome. So yeah, those ones are other moments are a little tougher, because you don't want to go too monotone and you don't want to be too sad. But you also, I think it's really important as the voice in the building to reflect and elevate when necessary, because like ultimately I think you're a deliverer of information and then a voice of the fan. So I'm never going to be happy when Stanley Berryhill gets a 90-yard touchdown out of nothing. But at the same time, you know, finding moments to like be excited and find some like good spots when things are kind of rough, has been interesting and fun.
No, and I think you've been conveying that very well. You are right. You don't want to be too monotone. You don't want to be too sad, but you still have to deliver the facts. I mean,
At some point, like, there's no exciting way to say that Trey Ford has been sacked for 12 yards, and now we go back to third down again. So trying to find some moments here and there. It's been really cool to be kind of like learning on the job with my spotter. Because he's watched a lot of football. It's great because he also is the DJ for the Golden Bears and Pandas. So his name's Dan Soul. Dan's amazing. I love that man to bits. Like I couldn't do a thing without him. And so we're both learning from each other and learning each other's pacing to get the best info out. And like that kind of stuff takes time too. So we're starting to get there a little bit. And then once we kind of have everything down, once we have the flow down, once all the basics are really set, that's when I think we can really kind of find moments to elevate as necessary, to be silly when we can without being slapstick, but still remembering that sports are fun, and an AI voice could just read off a play, but it's the human part, it's that fan part, it's like the human thing that like makes us ideally all want to come back.
Of course.
Oh, totally. No,
and even on TV, right? It's always the Jack Michaels, the Dustin Nielsen's, and the way that they, do their announcements that you're like, oh, there you go, there it is. It gives
Big
you a
time.
title. It gives you right,
Yeah.
and that's what we also.
Are you
like
kidding me?
So,
well, this happened in the Ottawa game. Like I didn't realize it happened, but I someone sent me a highlight, and we're like, what was this? And I forget what happened, but I think Drew Brown dropped back. He ran around for a sec, and then did this weird like shot putt that like sort of vaguely looked like a shovel pass, but wasn't. And I did the call. I think what was like Drew Brown shovel pass, and I remember being like audibly confused, and then like hearing my game director laugh, and I was like, okay. And then someone sent me a clip, and like you can hear like on the PA announcement that I'm verbally confused about what just happened. And I don't know, people laughed and people got info. So yeah.
I want to say I remember that one. You've made a couple of calls now that you can tell like it has a little bit of character behind it. I think it's one of those jobs as well that you don't think about. Like back in the old EE days, Eskimos, I would like pay very close attention to who was doing that, like whether it was Chris Sheets or somebody else, right? Depends on what role.
This was Al Stafford was the PA voice for a long time.
Okay.
It was Al Stafford for a very long time. Before Al, it was Wes Montgomery.
Okay, so maybe it was Al Stafford.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, because Chris Sheets would have been in-game host, and then yes, you had Al Stafford, who is with the Edmonton Oilers now. So, it was great.
Al rocks, man. I love that guy. Stafford rocks.
But also, you get used to the in-game voice, like the PA voice, right? You get used to that, and you can tell when it changes. Like I remember when it was 2018 Grey Cup. CFL brings in their own guy. Wasn't a big fan. The guy was also mispronouncing names and stuff, like Markham Michelle or something was like.
It was Markham Michael. I remember. I was at that game. I remember that one.
Yes.
Yeah, but then I remember like a few years before it was. I want to say it was the Grey Cup year for us in Winnipeg. Remember those days? They brought in I think Rod Black to be the PA announcer.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, interesting, but like, people have been kind of hard on Rod Black over his career, but like, man, he was great as the PA announcer. He sounded wonderful.
Aces in places, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily the greatest guy on color for NBA games and whatnot in Raptors, but
there were some weird calls. There's been some weird calls.
Yeah, not the grandest fan, but we are EE fans. Now you're obviously PA announcer for the EE. What's your favorite part about this job?
Oh man, what a good question. This is the case. So like, I never used to think of this. Like I always would hear people that work for teams that would say an answer that's very similar to this. And I go like, oh, this is just a canned answer because you work for the team. It's genuinely not, man. Fans are so cool. Fans are so unbelievable. And like, I love Edmonton sports fans in general. And I specifically really love Elks fans because there's this almost like trauma bond of what people have been through, going back to like, oh yeah, I remember when Eric Tillman traded Ricky Ray.
Oh yeah.
Eric Tillman still sucks. So like there's something about that. I've been really involved in like CFL fan circles for a long time. I love Grey Cup so much because you get every single person from every single team, and it does not matter what jersey you're wearing, like at all. You're just all fans of the CFL, and so like fans are really incredible. I have some of my best people I love most in this world are diehard Stampeders fans, and I won't hold that against them.
We
But
will, but
but there's such a cool community around this league and around the different team members, especially with Elks fans. I've always walked around the tailgate, even when I was doing spotting. I just like to be around and meet people, and it was really cool because like after on the BC game, a bunch of people started to like kind of like we'd chat for a little bit, and then they'd like, "Oh, are you?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And we just like chat and have like a really cool, lovely conversation. So like it's genuinely the fans that's really cool. There's this like weird community of like of the CFL PA announcers. Like everyone like Instagrams back and forth, and we're like, dude, that was a sweet call. Like, how'd you like? What was your thinking on that? Like, Adam from the Toronto Argonauts. Man, that guy's the best. I love him. I love him to bits. His partner, Danielle, she's the coolest too. And I'm really excited for when the Argos come down because I think they're coming down again, and I want to give them both giant hugs. But like when I was in the audition process, I was like, I can't really talk about this, but like, please help. And he was just unbelievable. And so it's genuinely the people that are so cool. And I think we're all just nerds, man. We're all just big nerds who love this weird, silly, lovely league and this really cool team that we've attached our hearts to.
Well, and I mean, we're nerds as well. You are the second PA announcer to join this show. That very Adam Goss.
Yeah, hell yeah, let's go.
We are in the process of collecting the
PA announcer
stones. Yes, the gems, because we want to.
Oh my goodness.
On our own show. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously though, that's cool to hear that it's like a brotherhood. And I mean, we did have actually a question on here. You knocked it off. Double E fan.
Yeah.
It is kind of a trauma bond at this point.
That's probably the best way that I've ever heard anybody referring to Double E fans. That's
trauma bond.
Yeah, Elks, like it's like it's funny because I've started to have like Eskimos work back into my vocabulary a little bit, and that's been an interesting process as someone who was like, at the time I was like, this name needs to take a break for a little bit. So it's so interesting because you'll have like an older side that'll default to the former name, the younger fans very much on like the kind of the new stuff, and then like there's everything else in between. But like there's always this collective like, oh man, well maybe this will be the one. Let's get this one, boys. Let's go. Which is my favorite because honestly, it reminds me of what Winnipeg Blue Bombers fans were like when I lived in Winnipeg, where they were just, our quarterback's Drew Willie, sick. Let's go. And there's thankfully like a little bit more hope around these parts than when the Bombers had again big deal of signing Drew Willie, who I'm sure is a lovely man.
The Free Willy chants back in the day at Commonwealth.
Dude, I worked at a radio station in Winnipeg. We ran a contest that they wouldn't let us call "Show Us Your Willie" because we wanted to get like, what's the biggest number 5 sign that you can make and put up on your lawn for Drew Willie? And I think we had to call it the Free Willy contest instead. So we had people put up orcas, I think. Right. But yeah, they wouldn't let us call it "Show Us Your Willie."
Yeah, that could
probably for the best.
Yeah. You never know what people are going to be sending.
And I mean, the one thing I will say, I believe, what was it? Drew Willie's touchdown chips or something at Co-op back in the day.
Oh, yeah, because there's the Fantus chips, the Drew Willie chips.
Michael Riley.
Yeah,
drink. Everybody drink.
See, we have this thing. We have this thing that every time that Scout brings up Michael Riley in the podcast, everybody has to take a drink.
Yeah.
Well, I got my bubbly. How many do we have to do if we bring up Michael Riley's hats?
That's 2 drinks. Let's go.
Horrible.
Although it was funny after he got the Grey Cup, he was really, really heavy onto those hats. So
yeah,
but he loved a good hat. It's the only. Well, I mean, look, he had to fit something inside his Hummer H3. He had to fit something in the Hummer.
Hey,
that is going deep into Double E lore. I hope someone else remembers that weird Hummer. He loved that truck. Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
Parked down in Oliver and Route 99, I believe.
It's a little stalkerish, but let's move on.
Oh man.
Do you have any game day rituals? Is there anything that you have to do before you get to the stadium and start doing your job?
Well, so yes, and I didn't do them last game, and I felt it.
Grum,
so what?
This is on you. You didn't do your rituals.
I didn't, and it's 100% on me. So I will, if there's one around, I will either walk or take a Lime scooter because I live pretty close by. I need to go. I have to take some time to walk through the tailgate. Even at least just to go see, like, you probably can say hi to you folks really briefly because now you're gonna be, just a heads up, you're gonna become a part of the ritual path now. But I've known the Turf District buds forever. My buddy Chad and his partner Lisa, like, they have one a little on the corner, so I try to go see them. One of my old coworkers from when I was working in radio here, her and her husband have like a spot. I try to just like see some friends when I go through there, and I like to do that about 2 hours or so before the game, if not earlier. So like right at the early part of the tailgate. After that, I'll usually go in, put down my computer, grab some rosters if I haven't already, meet my spotter Dan, and then Dan and I will go have the media meal in the Jackie Parker room. And shout out to the people that make the media meal. It's always so good. It's lovely.
I've heard they take good care of you.
Genuinely so good. Like, it's usually like roast beef, some sort of like pasta thing, whether it's like an unmixed lasagna or like a stroganoff or like a mac and cheese. And then I swear, like, the best barbecue pit beans I've had. They're so good.
Nice.
And then like potato salad and stuff. So like I'll have like a tiny little plate because if I eat too much, I get heartburn and then I feel grumblies in my tummy, and I don't like that. And then I go back into our little room, and the room we work out of is tiny. So we have our game director. Her name's Crystal. She's unbelievable. Love working with her so much. It's her. Oddly enough, she would now that she's the game director. Many years before, she previously worked for the team doing game tape. So there was in the same room, I guess, the first time she worked around here, a wall of VHS tapes that she would have to plug in. This tape is special teams. This one's offense. This one's defense.
Oh, wow.
And then trade them around and then give them to the coaches after the game. And so now for her, many years later, being back game directing is this like kind of fun serendipitous moment. So I'll go check in with Crystal, and then I'll start sitting down with my rosters. And on my my fiance Kristen is amazing and a wizard with spreadsheets in a way that I am not. So I basically told her, like, I need a way to like track players and call things and have the info I need. Can we build something like that in Excel? And she went, "Oh, honey, yes we can." and so we have the spreadsheet that we built. Well, I was like, "Here's what I like," and then she did it because she's amazing. And I basically go on before every game and I manually plug in the visiting rosters and home rosters, including things like name pronunciations, key stats if there's like a big milestone stat moment coming up. Because I usually like to check the rosters and check where stats are like a few games ahead. Like in a few games, I mean, geez, he's played so well, he might make it sooner. Like when Stephen Dunbar Jr. is getting close to 1,000, like that's when I'm going to start, like in a few games, like kind of keeping track on that. Where's Justin Rankin at?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff. So I'll kind of manually put all those in. And then usually by that time, I have like another half an hour before the show starts. And I'll just like throw on my headphones and either like listen to podcasts, throw on because I record all the games for the teams we're playing the next week, and then just kind of watch them just to like start to train my brain to see which numbers are who and kind of put them away, so I don't have to put them in my spreadsheet every time. I can just know that like number 3 will be Micah Awe, and he's going to make our life miserable.
Yeah.
Or Gary Peters again.
That's cool. That's actually really interesting to know, though. And I mean, on the tapes, we did have somebody else on the show that told us about the old way of doing video.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was.
I forget who it was off the top, but
I do remember that.
It's cool to hear that once again. It goes to show, how obviously the technology changes, but also how these roles at the same time don't really change too much.
Yeah,
you're not reinventing the wheel, so to speak.
Not really, and it's funny because I become pretty good buds with one of the video coaches. His name is Adam, and he's also the GM of the Edmonton Royals Junior B hockey team. Okay. And so like I've filled in as their PA announcer a handful of times over the years, and like see him with the Elks now. And so like the way he does film and record stuff is so like the game is the easiest part because he just has to set up a camera. Once everything's over, he's popping in an edit bay and just like cutting up, here's all the stuff for one player. And like I know AI is not great and we're really grumpy about a lot of things, but like it's especially when you're trying to get that much data and that very specific data, it can be really, really helpful. So
for CFL.ca.
Yeah. Graham for CFL.ca. Now, I do kind of want to circle back on this. You were talking about tailgate earlier. I would like to know, Graham, what are your thoughts on the tailgate party?
It's the best. It's the best thing the team's done in so long. Like I wish that was there when I was in that kind of level. Because like before you'd have people like kind of hanging out. It was sort of a thing. Wasn't really well set. Like you go down to McMahon and that was a tailgate. Like that's where you went for a good tailgate. And so to see how it's developed and grown over the years, moving it closer to Clark Park and closer to like an ingress for the stadium, I think is really good. And it's the one thing that really kind of bums me out about it is just like the nature of how that area is set up. I don't think there's enough eyes on it for the people that are coming to like one, maybe 2 or 3 games a year. Right. Like I almost wish we had a way of like, of moving finding a way to get the train people to go around and check it out, because that'd be such a great way to kind of like keep people coming back. Because like the tailgate's honestly one of my favorite parts of the game. Like you guys, you folks know it. The vibe there is so good, no matter what the record is, and you get like fans from out of town coming. I feel like those are like the CFL kind of family folks, like the people that want to go to every Grey Cup. Like that's where their space is. And so talking to friends from Calgary, they're being like, "Oh, y'all are putting up something really cool here," when they've had such a. I'm so jealous of their tailgate setup, because you literally have to walk through it when you get off the train to go to McMahon, even though the rest of the stadium makes you hate human existence.
Yeah, dumb.
The team itself, but.
Them too. St. John Sperling here in the herd chat. What up, St. John? The tailgate does seem kind of tucked away, so he does agree with you on that point.
And we've talked about it before, and we've said, like, how about some signage? Something that says, "Hey, tailgate this way."
It's getting better. It's getting. I think it's getting better. But like, you ultimately are dealing with a space that is. It's at the opposite part of ingress for a huge portion of folks, and so it's. I really like what they've done with the beer garden. I think that could be a big expansion point of being like, hey, you want to start over here, have a beer, make your way around the building, come check out over here. Make gate 2 your big kind of entry spot, because that's also where like the kids, the kind of kids play zone is, and that's been such a great addition especially for parents who are dealing with like kids who don't want to sit down and watch a 3-hour football game. Being able to go burn off energy at the kids park is killer. So there's so many good things, especially around the game day experience, I think has been missing for a long time, that are being brought in. And I'm not just saying that like as someone who is like biased, obviously, But there's definitely spaces to bring in more people, and I think it's a real strength that I think will be utilized a lot going forward.
Oh, totally.
Oh, they've done great. I also think that beer gardens right beside the tailgate was one of the smartest things that they could have done, especially bringing in the younger crowd, right?
Yeah,
Not teenagers, but you know what I mean. You know,
totally. Yeah.
not quite, but yeah, no, they're doing a lot of really really good things. We do have a couple of comments over here.
John Hayden here in the Hergen. And once again, before we read these, quick reminder, if you do have any questions for Graham, we are running a little bit over on this, on time for this. So please do throw them in now and we will get them.
Oh, yes. Sorry, guys. I'm a talker. I feel like I should have warned you all. I'm loud.
No, you're good. No. We don't want to eat up too much of your time. That's how this works. But John Hayden here in the Herd Chat. Many go into the stadium from the LRT and don't bother going to the other side. And then he also does say having it right off the LRT would be ideal in that parking lot. They were towing everyone out 2 hours before the game. The problem is that obviously Lot B, City of Edmonton property, tied in with the rec center. That's why we see the 3 hour before people are using it for the parking lot purposes intended. Now, over in Lot A, it was a little bit more of a free-for-all. Graham, you remember those days. Lot A, people would show up at noon for a 5 o'clock game or whatever. People would be in there a lot earlier. Obviously, that's kind of like the caveat with this is because it's City of Edmonton property over at Lot B and it's dedicated parking for the recreation center. We are kind of faced with that 3 hour window before the game.
Yeah. If there was a way that you could swing it, I think honestly the dream scenario would be if you really wanted to supercharge it is that you kind of take where the bus area is, but then you have to figure out, okay, where do those buses go? You have to retrain people to go to a different space for Stadium Road. It's too bad you couldn't just park them on the street, but for literal safety you can't do that.
Stadium Road is closed after with police there and whatnot, right? They closed off Stadium Road completely before and after the game.
Yeah, well, but you can get. So I'm one of my other jobs. I'm a 911 dispatcher. I answer 911 calls for AHS, although we're not AHS anymore. But that's a whole other thing. And that road is still accessible for emergencies. So you'd have to figure out something. But honestly, if you could find a way to make it happen to the bus where the bus ingress egress is, that'd be perfect. That'd be the dream.
You need one of those people that are just there with the sign, the ones that are outside of businesses with the big inflatable signs. And it's
yeah. The ones that you low key think about bullying if you were a garbage person. Yeah.
Okay, then maybe not. But yes, exactly those.
Oh, so good.
I mean, it just like St. John says over here. I like the spot due to having the indoor field available for the kiddos right next to it, but there really is not a lot of natural traffic through the area.
Yeah, it's a tough back and forth for sure, but the fact that you have it, it's an asset that I think they'll keep using. So I'm stoked. I'm stoked to see. There's a lot of new ideas that's been kind of flowing through the team, and I'm still a baby. I've only been there for 4 years compared to some folks who've been there for 40 and plus. But there's a lot of creative thinkers, and winning also solves a lot, man. Winning solves a lot of problems.
We have Nathan Byer over here in the chat. Oh man, I wanted to be the sign guy until he said that.
I'm not being serious, guys. This is just jokes. I just think of Badger from Breaking Bad and the one job he had as a sign guy. And
oh, so
very
good.
True.
Shout
very
out Nathan,
true.
by the way, just got engaged. So shout out Nathan. For
hey, congrats!
Wait, little applause.
If everybody can hear it. If not,
we're good. Yeah. We were watching RuPaul's last night, obviously.
But yes, what else is on the go for Graham in the near future? What's going on?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm this summer. It's a lot of football, which is wonderful. I'm also a big lacrosse fan, and so I've been really lucky enough to be the Edmonton Miners PA announcer for the last couple of years. And they're in the playoffs right now. So the Junior A Miners, and if you're a big lacrosse nerd, Very much think of the junior A level as the level people play in before they would have played for the Edmonton Rush back in the day. Like this is the highest level of junior lacrosse you can get, and it is so much fun and it's so good. And they got a couple games this weekend that I'm really, really excited for. We're playing the Calgary Mountaineers or the Mounties, and Calgary fans are real spicy and real weird sometimes. So we're kind of working with that. And it's going to be a lot of fun. If you missed lacrosse in Edmonton, come check out the Edmonton Miners, because both the junior teams who have players that are going to be in the NLL and the senior B team who has a bunch of players who are currently in the NLL or just are all playing around now. And man, I miss lacrosse. I miss pro level lacrosse in Edmonton so much. I was a Roughneck season ticket holder when I lived in Calgary, and almost when I lived up here, I almost applied to be their PA announcer when I was living here. And like part of me kind of regrets not doing it, but man, that would have been so much time on the road. That would have been awful. So yeah, that's my other kind of like big sports thing, which I can't recommend enough. The Miners are great and it's a lot of fun. So that's me. That's my life. I got 2 dogs. We go outside a lot. That's
dogs. I love it.
Love it.
Yeah, me and my fiance are just like in the midst of planning our wedding, and that's so much.
Soon to be your wife and your 2 dogs. That's amazing.
Well, next year, once we get through next year. But yeah, that's been a lot of fun. So I wish I had this big litany of like, I do all these things anymore. Like now that I'm not in FM radio anymore, it's like this collection of like weird freelance gigs that keep me sustainable and existing.
But it builds character, Graham, okay? It builds character. We do got to ask one major question that we did want to ask before we let you go. What other sports teams do you cheer for and what leagues?
So I'm an Oilers fan, somewhat begrudgingly at times, which can be fun. Man, in terms of other sports that I really pay attention to, I love college football. Oh my God, do I love college football? It's so fun. It's so chaotic and it's so silly and dumb. Like it's the perfect epiphany of that. Like sports are fun, and with that, they can be very stupid. So I'm a huge fan of college football. I think I might actually pick a team to cheer for rather than just like watching individual games. I might actually pick a team this year, so we'll see.
Are you going to get the game? Or are you going to get 26?
Oh, dude, I've been playing 26 since it came out. It's great.
Do you got the Elks mods? Do you got the?
I did download. I create a team as the Elks, and it's my second dynasty, and it's very fun. Did I also renumber all the players to be our position players? That'd be a crazy person thing to do. Who would spend that kind of time?
There you go.
And then do you make the calls as you make the plays or what?
No, I would have to sleep outside. Like Kristen already hears it and the dog already hears it because like we live really close to the stadium, and like if she doesn't come to the game, I'll usually get a text being like, every time you make an announcement, the dogs stare out the window and look confused.
Oh, where's dad? Is he coming home?
That's so good. Let's take a look at our herd chat comments here real quick. Ryan Nervous does say, what up, Ryan, who has helped us get a clear stream today. We've been to other stadiums before, and the fact that they do a true tailgate is awesome. It's a great atmosphere, and I agree with Sinjin. Proximity to the kids zone is fantastic.
It is pretty great. So yeah, we just like, I don't know, from like a PA standpoint, like I really want to bring in as much like high energy as we can. I love being able to kind of like lose it a little bit on a touchdown and then get glares from our audio guys for being like, you're being too loud. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Ian. I'm doing my best. Okay. I just get excited.
It's for the double E, right?
There
For the
you
double
go.
E. Sinjin does love the tailgate, and he hopes that it continues to grow and thrive. He also does say here his family has been converted to Sooner fans.
Boomer Sooner. I get that. That's really fun. Like, I don't know if I can cheer for a team that's like totally red though. That feels weird.
Yeah.
But like that's cool. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards like the Oklahoma State, the Cowboys, because like you got Chuba Hubbard, you got orange and black, which is a great color scheme, And then they play clips from No Country for Old Men before every game because they're weirdos. And I think that's lovely.
Mm-hmm. Man, every time I think about the radio meme where it's like an old man calling and he's like, "Can I get some country?" And the DJ host says no. And it's No Country for Old Men. Absolutely ridiculous.
Goofy.
I've been looking.
Goofy.
I've been looking for this meme for so long. I still can't find it. Ian Sherrick here in her chat. What
Ian! Oh man, I love that guy.
Beautiful. So you got a fan here. This is amazing. Hey Graham, really happy for you. Who's your favorite Double E player?
Oh my god. Current or all time? I'm gonna go both. Do both. I'm gonna start with current. I have had a couple really wonderful chats with Joel LeBlanco. He is such a kind and funny and like interesting dude who's also this like voracious football Machiavelli. Listening to him, he is so smart and so in depth in this way that like I think a lot of people wouldn't see when you talk to this like just very like kind of tall blonde football guy. But Joel LeBlanc is really great. I really love chatting with him. Cody Fajardo has also been really cool to kind of to chat with a bunch. Like in the offhands, like on a few events I've done that he's been around at. He's been really cool. So probably those guys, and then yeah, like Trey and Tyrell are both just lovely human beings and just so much fun to watch. All time, man, it was a formative moment to see AJ Gass pull off Dan Comiskey's helmet and whip it like 45 yards downfield when I was a young football fan. And that's stuck in my head as being like so cool. Plus, like he wore number 77, which always felt really kind of weird for a linebacker.
Yeah.
So like he was really cool. Like he's up there. There was one receiver for a few years. I think his name was Kelly Campbell, and he wore number 71. And I always thought that was kind of strange. But you know, I always was a big fan of returners. So like Gizmo, obviously incredible, but like the times I remember Winston October when he would catch the ball at flight and not drop it, which he would do, which is what happens when you try to get the ball at full speed. When Winston October would get the ball at like full speed, and you just see like number 8 like bolting through the snow was just so cool. So yeah, I hope that's like a paint shot of like where my kind of era of Double E fandom really kind of came from.
Oh, that's so cool. No, and I mean, I wish we would have been fans at that point. There's so much good football, especially with this team, such a rich history. You are part of this rich history now, Graham. It's fantastic. Love it. Couldn't be more thankful for your time tonight. We will let you go here right away. Jason in Red Deer does say, "Hey Graham, nice to see you." Also forgot that we had a show tonight. We were forced to do. We were all forced to. Gunpoint by me. No, man, this has been a fantastic chat. We will have to have you on again, Graham. Where can we find you online?
I'm at Graham Mosimann under everything. All my stuff, Graham Mosimann. I don't tweet a ton because, political strife. Okay, that's our next. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. But yeah, like Instagram, like I've like the bitter middle millennial I am trying to TikTok more often. Just to feed the algorithm a little bit, but also like weirdly enough, like I posted a video on TikTok of like of our win announcement for the game against Ottawa, and this was so wonderful. I had this huge influx of people that popped up that were from when I used to live in Calgary, and I lived in Calgary for 6 years doing a show on X92.9, and I had all these people show up out of nowhere being like, "Holy boats, I remember you on X. That's cool that this is what you're doing." And that was like, we just started chatting. It was like, oh man, it's nice. So yeah, I just love people, man. People and fans are amazing. So yeah, Graham Mosimann on all of the things.
Oh, we're thankful for you. We're thankful for what you do. We're thankful for the fact that You're such a big Edmonton sports fan, even just a Canadian sports fan in general, even North American sports. But you do something for the Double E. Like we said, right? You're part of this rich history now, and we think you've done a fantastic job. We love hearing your calls, man. You bring a different element, you bring a different style, a different color to it. And I mean, it's maybe just a different shade of green. It's all green and gold, and you're part of the gold in this fabric here in Edmonton.
I mean, that means a lot, buds. Thank you so much. It's really cool to actually be on the show.
Thank you, man, especially through the rescheduling and everything. Just a little bit of a gong show. Apparently, we just had to change our camera setting to 720p, and we figured it out. But Graham, we're not going to keep you any longer, man. Said it 5 times already. Can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. It was fantastic chatting with you, and we're going to have to see you again soon, my man.
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. We'll see you guys next tailgate, eh?
Yeah.
Great.
See you again soon.
Take care, pal.
Have an awesome one.
Bye.
And that was Graham Mosimann. What a guy. What a chat. That was fantastic. Absolutely loved shooting the breeze with him. It's another one of those cases where you could talk all night.
Totally. No,
So
it's such a cool job. Such a hard job, really.
It's been a hard job lately. I mean, I'll tell you that.
Oh my goodness. It's like I say, how do you get the crowd pumped when they're not really pumped? But he does a fantastic job. So
he does a great job. Shout out to Graham for joining us tonight. That was fantastic. Big shout out to the viewers for being here with us tonight. This is the Elks Call. You're rocking with the Elks herd here. Please give us a like, subscribe, follow, favorite, all that good stuff. We do this because of you guys, and this is our favorite thing to do in the week. So really appreciative for you guys being here, and thankful for all of our guests that join this show. All right, let's take a look at the herd chat here before we get into the herd report, because we really want to talk about this last Edmonton Elks game, don't we, Catherine? Don't we? Catherine?
I'm getting called out. That's why I
nice.
Hardest part of the job is pronouncing players' names. Hey, Kathy. Exactly. I could never in my life have a job like that. I would just completely butcher everybody's names. It would be horrible. I would offend a lot of people, and that's just probably. And I did think about it, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I did think about it, and I was gonna make a comment just because I know what I do. So
you should pronounce Graham's last name, okay? You should have been.
I thought it was Graham for the longest time. So
dude, I knew it.
So I am glad that we didn't go there.
Yeah, Singe in here in the herd chat. My youngest only knows you as the hot dog guy, Scout.
I love it. I don't know who it was. Oh, so last year, just a little bit of a story time before we move on to sad times. Last year, Scout decided that he was gonna smoke brisket. He comes home with an entire brisket, and it turns out that it wasn't even for his family. It was actually for Jamin.
Shout out,
you
Jamin.
Guys know Jamin. And then the next time, Jamin's he gave us his cleats. But Jamin's the next time that they showed up to the tailgate with his family, his 2 little girls came by, and they were like, "Oh, it's the meat man! It's the meat man!" So believe me, everybody knows Scout as either the hot dog man, the meat man. Bring the meats.
Yeah.
Hashtag meats.
I talked to Ken Borchuk, who listens to the show, Tracy Ham and Eggs. I was like, man, eat the meat. And he's like, I'm going to walk away from this one now. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think you're onto something here. What do we got here? Jamie Fadoon in the herd chat. What up, Jamie? What up, dude?
Sorry.
He is listening to us from Winnipeg, and he's going to the Stampede Bowl rematch tonight. Nice. Or tomorrow, sorry. I like the fact that he's billing it as the Stampede Bowl rematch. We got ourselves a good gimmick here. And there's double E's on that trophy still, just a friendly reminder. So the Elks are coming for it next year. We want the Stampede Bowl. What else? I saw a couple other comments up here in the herd chat. If we go up just a little bit, Argos almost beat the Alouettes, but then they totally freaking blew it in the 4th quarter. Thank you for that update, Jason. And then Matt Somm says, but was the dub worth re-injuring the hamstring? I can only assume that has to do with Davis Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Not Alexander Davis. Not Alexander Davis. Talking about pronouncing names. It's not Alexander Davis. It is Davis Alexander. I have a feeling that he may be injured again, so that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else wasn't good? What we're about to talk about in Kathy's Herd Report. So let's dig into it. We're going to talk about the recent news, transactions, and everything else here in Kathy's Herd Report. Today's Herd Report is brought to you by the Rouge, White, and Blue podcast. Oz and Joe have you covered on the latest happenings in the CFL from across multiple borders. Americans talking Canadian football, Rouge, White, and Blue, only on Shotgun Sports Network. All right, before we talk about the bad, let's talk about the good, the tailgate. Right? Tailgate, still undefeated. Still undefeated. 5-0 in the
always fun.
Well, 4-0, I guess, in the tailgate this season. 4-0. We got to give some fan shout outs here. Andy and Jason, they hooked it up with some nice smoked meats. Janelle had ice cream cookie sandwiches, boozy ice cream sandwiches. Come on. Come on.
Still thinking about those.
Absolutely ridiculous. The Cordy crew. So Brent Cordy came over with one heck of a pulled pork sandwich. Absolutely amazing. Paul Andrews hooked it up with a set of ribs, 3 ribs on a plate.
We were just getting fed.
We were getting fed because we ran out of our own Eddie cheesesteaks. We gave away about 60 plus servings of Eddie cheesesteaks. So big thanks to everybody for eating at our spot. Also, a big thanks to our donors. I'd like to point out that we do have a bit of a donor list here. St. John Sperling, the guy who is in the herd chat here. St. John's been popping by and throwing in some donations, so we're really thankful for that. Klima's Lid, longtime listener. Klima's Lid, absolute sweetheart of a guy, brings his kids over and threw some in the donation bin as well. We had quite a few donations there on this last game. Now, we're transparent. This money is not going to us. The money is going to the meats. Sometimes it's a little bit more expensive than others, especially on Eddie cheesesteak night. So big thanks to everybody that has swung by. John Hayden here in the herd chat. He has swung by last couple times. So big shout out, John, for swinging by and seeing us. Anybody that swings by our booth, stall 182, Herdy's Diner, we do try. We try to make it like a restaurant experience in the tailgate. So it's always fun. It's always fun. And Herd District, Turf District right behind us. We are going to have an episode soon. I've been thinking about that name. But the Turf District right behind us, they're also running out of food a little bit quicker nowadays as well. So that tells you that the foot traffic is increasing in the tailgate.
Slowly but surely.
It is everybody's favorite part of the game.
Yes.
Most nights apparently still for the last 4 years. This last game was a doozy, Catherine.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Well, let's talk about, as John Hayden over here says, cheerleaders also went undefeated because
they were better.
That halftime performance dressed like
the Dinos
was absolutely
fantastic.
Amazing.
It was awesome.
Like I laughed a lot.
Yeah. It was funny.
So that was great. That was a little bit of comedic relief in between this mess.
In the middle of a joke of a game, right?
The little babies too. That was pretty cute. Everybody doing the combine, that was a lot of fun to watch too. You totally missed that, but I was having a chuckle watching some of these people trying to do things.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Athletic things, wearing those costumes. But yeah, let's dig into this. To be honest, I know we have a lot to talk about this game. I don't necessarily want to dig into every single play, so we're just gonna do a quick recap. Take it half by half. Really, because there's not much that happened. Let's just get through it. First half, BC's offense definitely dominated time of possession, sustained drives, filled with completions, well-timed penalties that, of course, extended their possessions.
I want to say 42 minutes on the game.
Oh, I have the stats.
Oh,
I have the stats.
You have it. My bad.
I have it all.
That's on me.
Edmonton had one solid drive in the first quarter, and it ended due to an interception. Other than that, defense had their work cut out for them, for sure, especially with BC's long and really effective drives. Second quarter, it really was an offensive explosion for the BC Lions.
Yeah.
They scored 3 touchdowns, completely controlled the pace of the play, even with Nick Anderson having that sack at the beginning of the
Mhm.
second quarter. So that was a good one. There were once again a couple of costly penalties, pass interference, roughing the passer that definitely did not help. I think the highlight of the entire game was Jake Seresna with his first career interception.
That was crazy too. I
was
think
cool.
that was one of the most wild parts. He almost lost it too. Well, no, didn't it get? It got fumbled, right? They dropped the ball.
He
and then-
fumbled it afterwards, and
Yeah.
they recovered it. But I always said, like, how cool would it have been to just go see Jake
to
Seresna
the
take it
house.
all the way?
To the house. That would have been so good. Touchdown, Jake
Oh
Seresna.
my
Since when are you ever going to
goodness.
say that?
That would have been
Jesus,
amazing.
Sakana.
So we don't even know what kind of celebration with us. On that note, he is okay. He did injure himself quite badly. He will probably be away for a couple of games, but it's not as bad as people thought. So
Yeah, apparently the X-rays were negative on his injury.
exactly. So thankfully, good to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fumbled it. Elks managed to keep possession, but
Mhm.
a short rush that led to a short rush, short pass later, and of course a touchdown by Cody Fajardo on short yardage. Like,
And
how weird is it that a lot of the touchdowns that we've had belong to Cody Fajardo?
well, because he's in at
Well, of course,
QB2,
it's short
right?
yardage,
Yeah.
but like it's expected. But at the same time, there should be more.
Cody Fajardo had 2 in this game. One
Mhm.
by
Yeah.
QB1
Yeah.
and one by QB2.
Correct.
So short yardage and then a long
Yeah.
ball later on, right?
Yeah, he certainly
In
did.
relief in garbage time, mind you. But yeah, anyways, we'll get back to it.
Yeah. Vincent, he kicked in for the comfort point. So once again, Vincent is what 4-4-4.
Yeah,
Good to go?
he's been playing good.
Yeah,
And
he
him
has.
and Cody Grace, they've kind of been the glue even just for special teams, because special teams has not been the greatest.
Mhm.
We have to take a look at the phase as a whole. It's not just kicking, it's not just
Of
punting.
course. Mhm.
It's also returns.
Mhm.
They're the intricacies. As far as punting and kicking, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Like we
no,
are
they-
actually doing
they're-
pretty good in that.
there's
And
no
Cody
complaints.
and Cody Grace is actually, he's kind of getting close to Jake Julian's numbers, right?
Interesting. Yeah,
he's
it's still
actually
early.
doing pretty good.
It's still early, so it could be.
45s, like yeah, you're seeing some good numbers out of him.
Yeah, and despite that brief spark, Edmonton just couldn't keep the pace. Drives stalled too often. Incomplete passes, failed third downs. Same
Yeah.
story. By the end, a potentially momentum-shifting punt return touchdown by BC was called back due to a penalty. So thankfully
Thank
for
the
us,
Lord.
that definitely offers some relief. But the Lions definitely had control of that that first half.
Well, and I think, and I mean, we see these herd chat comments. We are going to bring these up after we get through the second half.
Mhm.
There's some great comments here. YQL, what up? Welcome to the show.
Mhm.
But you felt that game slip away really early.
Mhm.
Nathan Rourke was not slowing down. And what was the matchup that we said we wanted to watch last week on the show? I said that I wanted to see our defensive line versus their offensive line. I
Mhm.
want to see if they can get to Nathan Rourke.
Mhm.
I want to say 1 sack on the game, and it was Nick Anderson.
Yep.
Like, it's you're talking about a really painful game. I mean,
those drives that he had, they were sustained. Like he was moving down the field.
he was
slowly.
moving those sticks.
It was slowly but effectively.
Yeah,
But what happens with that is that suddenly the defense is on the field for way too long.
exactly.
Way too long.
And then now you have the flip side of it. Ed Hervey has spent so much on this defense. Something's got to give. Like, where's the money translating to performance on the field? I mean, there's just way too many holes. We're seeing the same spots open, just past that secondary, right?
Well, and with injuries too, right? You have Robbie Smith not there now, Jake Seresna. But at the end of the day, we had that conversation of it shouldn't just go down to 2 guys.
no.
It really shouldn't.
Well, no, and then the pressure. I mean, Robbie Smith. I said this in my 3 thoughts. I believe I did say it in the 3 thoughts. The team is missing Robbie Smith right now. That injury was definitely a big one for this defensive line. So very frustrating. You know, the one comment I will address, we definitely got out coached by St. John here. Have to agree. It looked like rookie coaching versus, you know, like it's like easy on Madden versus a play like a human, right? It was really, really painful. Yeah, let's just talk about the second half.
Yeah, for the rest of the game, BC maintained dominance in type of possession, field position, offensive consistency, pretty much all of it. The tired defense, they were pretty tired at this point. They gave all they had left when they stopped Rourke at the Edmonton 3rd-yard line. Like, we thought we had it good right there at the beginning of the 3rd quarter. But the offense was not able to bring the ball back at all. There was nothing that they could do. I mean, defense stopped him, and then they should have been able to make a play or bring it farther down the
But
field.
it's blitz. JC Scherer kept on bringing blitz. When, like, you're trying too hard at that point to stop Nathan Rourke.
Yeah.
Play man coverage. Play, you know, maybe even a little bit more zone, even though they were failing at that too.
They sure were. And in fact, BC bounced back from that to force a safety on Edmonton. You know, offensive lineman Mark Evans II was flagged for holding in the end zone. So that's not good. I mean, if there's a moment where you want to make sure that there is no penalty, is right there and then. Why would you want to force a safety? Right. So interesting in that Edmonton's offense remained mostly ineffective, really struggling to move the chains. Once again, failing to convert crucial downs. The 4th quarter began with more struggles. Trey Ford was sacked for a huge loss, led to a 3rd and 28 situation and a quick punt. You know, BC capitalized on the good field position. They grinded out another really methodical drive down the field. And I really wish that we could see drives like this. You know, how many times do we have to say multiple first downs? Or no, there isn't multiple first downs. I mean,
no, but I get what you mean. And Herdchat, please chime in on this because I'd like to know what everybody thinks. But we haven't seen that? No. Have we not seen it? Like, we have not seen any of that.
That first drive in the 1st quarter was there. It was a sustained, effective drive until up to the interception.
But why are we throwing 5 or 50? 100%. There's no in between with this team, and I think that is the extremely frustrating part. It's run on the first down, 5-yard play on the second down, or it's a 50-yard play. Yeah. Or, you know, like, you're trying to force too much, too fast, too often. Slow it down. Focus on first downs. And Jed Roberts said it very well. You know, Trey Ford's first read is still being taken away.
Yes.
BC Lions looked at what Noel Thorpe did in that Montreal game at home here and went, okay, I mean, it's not hard. You take away Trey Ford's first read. He struggles. And then it becomes a bit of a gong show from there.
Then he's throwing really long bombs on 50-50 balls with double coverage,
or just completely overthrowing or completely
overthrowing. That happened a lot. Overthrowing, right? And it's that, like, I mentioned this last games. Like, I don't know if he just has zero confidence in the O-line and he doesn't want to take that time. Like, he's not stepping back and being like, okay, I'm going to assess and I'm going to get my first read, I'm going to get my second read, I'm going to get my third read, and try to figure out exactly where I'm going instead of just throwing the ball away.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
And whether it is, and we'll talk. Let me finish, and we'll come back to this.
Okay.
Late in the quarter, Edmonton showed signs of life with Cody Fajardo taking over at quarterback. He led a quick stride drive that ended with a 31-yard touchdown pass to Curly Gittens Jr. So at least we had something to cheer about at that point.
And I mean, that was still a 50-50 ball, but you could tell by the way that he took the ball in, made his decision, and stuck with it.
Yeah, instead of looking here too.
Well, yeah, but instead of looking for an open man, which is, once again, this is what Jed Roberts said on Edmonton Sports Talk, talking with Jay Milne and Reed Wilkins, I believe. But and this was about 2 days ago, but or yesterday. But what he said was, Trey Ford, he doesn't quite release fast enough. He stays in that pocket too long. He waits for a player to get open or a receiver to get open when he needs to trust the play. You need to trust the play call, get the ball there, and your wide receiver is supposed to get there. You saw BC do, cross routes.
Crazy. Yeah.
Like, you see those plays where it's a design play. You dart the ball into this spot and your wide receiver is going to get there. But we don't see that yet with Trey Ford.
No.
But we saw it with Cody Fajardo.
Yeah. And it's a little bit of everything. I think that was a little bit of garbage time too. You're just trying to get points. It's really hard to gauge. But yes, I do agree. And yeah, that final drive, it had potential. Holding penalty, wrong time, really. That's the last thing, once again, that you want. Another penalty right at the end. Failed third down conversion, and it just sealed their fate. Right. So
yeah. Let's
break this down though. Let's break it down.
Well, do you want to look at the herd chat comments first, or do we want to go through stats? Let's go through stats.
Let's go through the stats, and then a lot of this is whose fault is it? And that's what a lot of the herd chat comments kind of bring up, a lot of those points. We're looking at passing yards, 345 over 112.
Disgusting.
Gross. I don't think I've ever seen stats like those. Rushing yards, 183 to 66.
Which the Edmonton Elks got away from the run real early. Why? Because BC's defensive line and BC's defense as a whole shut down the run really quick. Didn't need to completely run away from the run game, but they did.
No, and that's, once again, whose fault is it? Right? And
coaching.
We'll get to that, definitely. Net offense, 519 to 160. Like, wild.
160 yards. 160. What are we doing? 160? Like, what?
It's crazy. Like, even that. And possession time, 42 minutes and 54 seconds versus 17 minutes and 6 seconds.
Disgusting.
Like, just gross. And once again, right? I feel like at the end of the day, there were just too many gaps everywhere between the offense, not holding the pocket, too many 2-and-outs, whether it's Trey Ford or the O-line, defense, lack of tackling,
bad tackling,
spending too much time in that field.
Yeah.
Special teams, there were not really any good returns in this game. Yeah. And then there's
we allowed a lot of return yardage.
Of course. Too many penalties. And of course, the coaching. Right? Like, it's now let's go back and take a look at what people have to say.
All right, let's take a look at what the herd chat saying, because we got a lot of discourse here in the herd chat. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we got to go back here. I love this. Okay, let's start with the Sinjin comment. I love the Trey interview. After, I think he was really honest, and I completely agree. His pocket presence was much better early. Ball placement could have been better. Yeah, that goes without saying. Ball placement was definitely off. YQL here says, no, you got to ride with Trey. The whole team choked. The whole team did choke. This was not strictly on Trey Ford, but the offense definitely stuttered in part to Trey Ford's efforts. I feel bad for Trey Ford, but it's really looking like it's time to give Cody Fajardo a start or two before this season gets really away from the Edmonton Elks. We are going to
bring this back.
We're going to talk about that one, I think, in the fan forum. So everybody stick around with us here, because we do have a big conversation still coming up on that subject. The whole team did choke, but Trey didn't take advantage of the few opportunities they had. Argument could be made for that. John Hayden kicking is not our problem. I agree.
Definitely not.
Vincent Blanchard has been killing it.
Kicking is probably the best part of the team right now.
Both boots. Sinjin, we definitely got out coached. I agree, Sinjin. There were multiple times where BC had the perfect call against ours. Gonna have to agree. And then he does also say our run game is so important to our O. If we get shut down early and are forced to throw it, it makes the game way too easy for their D, which it did.
It really did.
Sinjin played the game. So, I mean, Sinjin kind of knows a thing or two.
Especially when you know that the passing game is not necessarily on point.
Yeah.
Like, why?
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 Why? What? John Hayden does say brutal coaching. Jason says Trey doesn't look past his first read. Might be onto something there. First read is tied up. He immediately scrambles. I think we saw the reverse effect of that. It was where he scrambles and BC still got our number.
Yeah.
Ryan here does say way too many 2 and outs. They need some quicker plays, 5 and 15-yard pickups. He underthrew, and I think it was to Dunbar. And then after that, he overthrew every other long pass that was called. Yeah, that's exactly what we saw from Section X. John Hayden doesn't have confidence in the O-line.
Yeah.
And then Ryan does also add on, he also likes to scramble too due to the fact that the O-line breaks down. He needs a couple quick options instead. Design plays.
Yep.
Execute. You make the call as a coach.
You should be able to have those.
You're going to go to the wide receiver 2. You're going to go to slot back 1. Make a choice, but also don't telescope it either, right? Periscope it, telescope it. I believe periscope is the term, right? But don't periscope it. What else do we have? Oh, I like this point by Jason. The Elks need another Geno Lewis or a Damian Alford who can go up and get those 50-50 balls. We knew you had to throw in a Stamps reference in there at some point. Jason does host the Stamps Roundup, Stampeders Roundup. Go check it out. Great show. Just had the Piffles podcast on there, so they do talk a lot of football, and he does kind of know a thing or two. I will say, when you watch Calgary, which I have Damian Alford this week in fantasy for the Elks herd in the CFL Fans Fight Cancer League. Yeah, I mean, are we not missing that right now? And Stephen Dunbar Jr. is trying to do that, but Stephen Dunbar Jr. just dropped 2 balls early in that game. You lose you lose that confidence from Trey Ford instantly. Yeah. Trey Ford is not going to go to you as, a bailout option or whatever if he thinks you're going to drop the ball. Maybe Mark Killam isn't going to make that call, or offensive coordinator Jordan McSimic isn't going to make that call to go to Dunbar because Dunbar clearly isn't having a good game that night.
And we also had that conversation earlier this week of how usually there's that receiver to the quarterback, right? There's that relationship, there's that chemistry that there's always going to be.
Zach Mathis.
There's always there should be one that you know for sure that if Trey's going to throw a ball, that it's most likely that he's going to catch it.
Yeah.
Right. The MBT to the Curly Gittins Jr.
Yes.
The Zach Claros to the Brady Oliveira. Right. So the things that you kind of know that is a really good combination, and it's a deadly combination once it happens. And we don't have that at all.
Well, and here's the big concern is that there is supposedly this big relationship between Trey Ford and Zach Mathis outside of football. They live together, I believe.
Roomies.
They're roomies, yes. And in theory, Zach Mathis is supposed to be that guy for Trey. But he has not been jumping up into the ball.
No.
He's been sitting back on the ball, and that's what causes interceptions. How much of the...
Who's been catching those 50-50s? Like Javon Leake.
Javon Leake, yeah. Javon Leake and Curly Gittins Jr.
Yeah.
But we're seeing the ball go to Stephen Dunbar Jr. We're seeing the ball go to Justin Rankin for passes. Like, you're seeing those weird plays. And I think you have a Keon Julian Grant. You have certain wide receivers on this team that can go catch a 50-50. Even at this point now, I'm second guessing the Edmonton Elks letting JJ Lapp go. Again, I was not happy with them releasing JJ Lapp.
Yeah.
Kyrus Jackson, I believe, needs to draw in. You need to do something with the wide receivers. You need to get that confidence back. But here's the other thing. You need chemistry. And this team right now, especially the offense, no chemistry.
No.
You can't tell me that this team has chemistry right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is bad. John Hayden does say Trey needs to play and learn like other younger quarterbacks have in the past. In a couple seasons, Trey will be a different guy. This is growth season, and it's going to hurt. I think we did predict this. We knew that this was going to be a long season based on even just the first 2 games with this team. The team can still pull it around. Thankfully, the Toronto Argonauts absolutely suck right now. So if it wasn't for them and the Ottawa Red Blacks absolutely sucking, we'd be really, really dire for that Eastern playoff spot, number 3 wild card. So there's a hope still for this team. Don't lose hope. Believe with the double E, all that stuff. But it is starting to look a little bit shaky for that. Jamie Fadoon does agree. St. John, he really let the play. He really let the play develop before choosing to run. But quickly, the BC secondary were able to completely cover our wide receivers, and at times, and at times we had opportunities. We had underthrows, overthrows, and drops. And I mean, it's a lot of blown opportunities in this one. John Hayden wonders about the tackling, which he believes is brutal. I would agree. And then St. John does say, I think Cody generating about 40 to 50% of our O yards in 6 minutes, but also on some of the Lions number twos. Yeah, exactly. You're playing garbage time, right? You how much stock? We've talked about it on the show before. How much stock do you put in garbage time?
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to go ahead and say that Cody Fajardo should be the starting. We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah. Over this one here with St. John. Oh. Okay, we're showing John's.
Well, John did say Trey is married with 2 kids, making the big money. Tell his roomie to get his own place. John here shooting shots.
This one over here. Stephen Dunbar. I'm guessing it's so inconsistent. We saw this 2 years ago when he was our number 2 with Lawler.
He has good games. He has bad games, and like his bad games are stinkers. His good games are all-star performances. He does not have the chemistry still with Trey, right? Because his quarterback at that time, Taylor Cornelius, Taylor Corn Dog. Yeah, it's really frustrating. Unfortunately, you need a third team to suck more than you to even make the crossover. Jason, man, firing shots.
Oh my goodness,
firing shots. This guy.
But hey, it's still a little early. As St. John says, I believe
with the doublies. I like it.
I believe.
I like it.
But we know that it was a pretty brutal game overall. There's a lot of oh my goodness, I don't think I even wrote it down. Well, there you go. That's how much I didn't want to think about it. Like 31-14 or something like that.
If you scroll down, we have it.
You have it. 32-14. I was close enough.
That was actually really close, but yeah, final score 32-14. In this case, the score was closer than what it looked like on field.
Oh my gosh, yes. But I mean, it's thanks to Cody Fajardo, and we will say
Fajardo.
Thanks, and Fajardo, and Vincent Blanchard, of course. But yeah, let's move on because this sucks.
Yeah.
Transactions, there are none. Injuries, I know we had a few, but there is no report, no official report. It's the bye week, so it's a little early to say, especially when they're taking that bye to recover some of these injuries. So
1-0 bye week. Let's go.
Yeah.
1-0 bye week.
We're not gonna lose this week. But what's next? Friday, July 25th, we are facing Saskatchewan. So what are your predictions on that one?
Yeah, we're not going to have a show next week. We're on our bye week next week. So this is your primer for the upcoming Saskatchewan Roughriders game, just over a week away. Edmonton versus Saskatchewan. This team has so much to clean up before that Saskatchewan game. I don't feel good about it.
No,
I'm very, very worried about it.
They've been playing really well.
Saskatchewan's been playing lights out. We're about to see what happens here. What is it, tomorrow night or Saturday? They have their game. I don't have the schedule. But I mean, I'm going to be watching the Saskatchewan game closely this weekend if we can.
Yeah.
We will be camping.
Maybe.
We will be out of service.
If we have service.
If we have service, gonna cross the fingers here. But yeah, I mean, the Elks are going to be hard pressed to get a win. What I will have confidence in is the fact that Trey Ford likes to play in Saskatchewan. For whatever reason, Trey Ford turns on the burners over there at Mosaic Stadium. So I think that this could be a good Trey game.
If they play him.
Talk about it in a bit. Fan form, okay? Big fan form question. But I do think, I think the win's possible. I think the odds are forever stacked against us. I'm going to say for the first time, it's an Elks loss. It's an Elks loss by 6 points. 6 points. Elks lose. This is not me not believing, because I would just rather be not disappointed if we lose and be uber excited if we get the win. So I'm going to say Elks probably losing that one. But I do pray for a win. I
Yeah.
want to see us get the win. We really need it at this point in the season because Toronto Argonauts and the Ottawa Red Blacks aren't going to lose forever. And those two teams face each other. And one of those teams is going to win in that matchup.
One of those teams is going to lose.
Poor John. Poor John. We're going to take the drive to Regina. Going to be a rough one. Hey, you know what, John? Between the Riders fans not necessarily harping on us too bad right now because they're winning and we're one of the biggest losers. I think that the fans are going to be easy on you. But what happens if the Elks pull off that win? It might not be so rough. I think that the Elks will have a comeback performance. I would like it to be a win. I just think that this team still needs to take baby steps in order to achieve greatness. I really hope it's not a 3-win season. That's my biggest concern, right?
Like St. John says, I won more trade games at home, but I'll take a win any day.
Well, and this team needs to build the chemistry. This team needs to build the confidence. This team needs to play more together.
Yeah.
And this is just another opportunity to do that. It's going to be a pretty big game. This is a big game for the Edmonton Elks. Player to watch. If I'm going to be watching a player in this one, Tyrell Ford. I want to see. He hasn't
done much.
I want to see a Tyrell Ford play.
Yes.
We've got these amazing corners.
I don't know if they're just everybody's really scared of him and they have him like double covered.
Well, they haven't been targeting him very much.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, it's wild that they haven't played him. They haven't utilized him more than he should be for sure. For myself, player to watch, I don't know.
Yeah, who do you got?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank over here because it's really like it's not like we really the one that is always fun to watch is Nick Anderson.
Yeah, but like, what about a David Beard? Because David Beard will finally be coming back into his starting center role, right?
That's true. That's
so
true.
David Beard is coming back from injury. He was backup center in this last game, which was interesting. I don't know if he necessarily drew in. I didn't notice the O-line too much on that. But I would like to maybe suggest that one, David Beard or. Maybe,
no, I'm going to be watching Nick Anderson because he's just fun.
There you go. Okay. It's Nick Anderson.
He's just fun to watch. Like watching him tackle is something else. I get a chuckle every time because he's so extra, but he deserves it.
Yeah. No, I mean, he has been lights out. If there is one single play, what?
Everybody should take lessons from Nick Anderson on how to tackle.
Nick Anderson tackle school. I like that.
He even broke a guy's leg. So there you go. Like he goes all freaking WWE on that shit. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still feel bad for David.
Of course. Not saying that. But hey, if there is a school of tackling, it should be led by Nick Anderson. So
I agree. I like that. All right. So we've put that one into the past. We've put the next one on deck. Let's talk about a little bit of Edmonton sports with the Edmonton Sports Update. Your Edmonton Elks suffered defeat to the BC Lions by a score of 32-14 last Sunday. They are on the bye week this week before heading to Saskatchewan to face the Rough Riders at Mosaic Stadium on Friday, June 25th. Kickoff will be at 7 p.m. next Friday. The 10-6 Edmonton Stingers defeated the Scarborough Shooting Stars by a score of 81-75 last Friday. They visit the Ottawa Red Blacks tonight with hopes of staying in the win column. Tip-off is at 5:30 p.m. Mountain. The Edmonton Riverhawks celebrated a victory against the Port Angeles Lefties on Sunday, winning by a score of 9-5. They're back in action Friday night at Remax Field, facing the Kamloops Northpaws. First pitch is at 7:05 p.m. Mountain. Sherwood Park Crusaders recently released their theme nights. Check out spcrusaders.com to get the season preview over in Sherwood Park at Randy Rosen Rink. And don't forget that Love Pro Wrestling has events every month with their next event featuring the Clandestine Wrestling Society on July 30th. And then the main event on August 1st. With tickets as low as $10, you don't want to miss out. Where the Elks are, you're up to date. And I do also want to bring your attention to, we got the sheet. The Edmonton Elks are hosting the Labor Day rematch brunch on Saturday, September 6th. Time is going to be from 11 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. Mountain. Location is at Edmonton Expo Center, Hall F. Go check it out. You can expect everything from the Spirit of Edmonton party at Grey Cup, all over at the Edmonton Expo. Labor Day rematch. Tickets are $225 each, and it is the perfect way to get your Labor Day rematch started. So go check it out. If you want some more details, go check out our girl Christine over at the Edmonton Elks team store. Once again, we're the Elks Herd. You're up to date. Nathan Byer here in the herd chat. Let's go T-Bone. No, T-Bone's a loser. It's a chant. Let's go T-Bone.
Yeah,
T-Bone's a loser. Trailer Park Association, PWA. Great stuff. Those were the days. All right. Next up, we are going to bring you our take on hot or not, which is green or gold. All right, everybody. We're going to bring you green or gold here. It is brought to you by the Stampeders Roundup. If you're a Stamps fan and you're listening to our show, you have an identity crisis. And you should just stick to shows such as Stampeders Roundup instead of watching the Elks Call. But if you would like to be converted to the Church of Double E, you have made it to the right spot. What was once lost now is found. Go check out the Stamps Roundup only on Shotgun Sports Network. Jason is here in the herd chat tonight. So shout out Jason for checking out our show. Like I said, great episode with Alex from Piffles Podcast. Love those guys. Alex Dorman. It's always good stuff. Greg and Steven. So they're really good stuff over there at Piffles Podcast. Go check them out too. All right. Green or gold? First topic. Sean Lemon being reinstated into the CFL after betting on his own team. Catherine, is it a green or is it a gold?
Gosh, I'm gonna say green. I feel like I have to. I mean, it's kind of funny, but not really. I mean, the rules are there for a reason, and I feel like everybody in the sports world knows. They should know that first of all, betting is not allowed.
Can't
Betting
do that.
on your own team, it's even worse. Right? So it's just one of those things. You're not allowed, don't do it. He did it, and now he's being reinstated. So that's just you're breaking a rule. You shouldn't be compensated for it.
Herd chat, let us know what you think. Get in on this. Is it green? Is it gold? Herd chat, let us know. We will bring it up. Nice. We got Jace watching.
Jace says gold, but not sure I could agree with him though. That's Ryan Nervous on the chat.
Jace says gold. And I'm also gonna say gold.
Oh my goodness.
So I'm gonna say gold. Sorry, I killed their monitor. I'm gonna say gold, and the reason why is because the guy bet on his team to win. Somebody made a point on X. They're like, well, doesn't that just mean that, like, you know, you're extra motivated to win? Like, you're really betting on your team. Like, literally, you're betting on the house, right?
That's why I think it's funny. But
Jason, if you like it, you're gonna vote gold, and green is the bad one. Sorry, everybody, I forgot to give you the full intro on that. Yes, once again, green or gold. If you like it, you're gonna say gold, but if you don't like it, you're gonna say green. I know it's both of our favorite colors, so it's
we
weird.
have St. John over here. Let's go, Sean. Unbelievable. This is just comical at this point. He was like, "What? I bet on us to win."
Let's go, St. John. Let's go.
Like,
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
that's what I said. Like, it's funny more than anything. But I mean, rules are rules for a reason. I mean, there's a lot of Netflix specials dedicated to betting on sports, and that is not allowed. Right? So just one of those things.
St. John did say gold. So I mean, I see you trying to flip his point to your benefit on the green side, and I don't agree with that. No, Sean Lemon bet on his own team to win.
Still wrong. Betting is betting.
There's people like the gold gimmick, by the way. The gold. Fantastic. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Here's the other thing too, though, is that sports betting has happened so freaking much. Okay, sports betting has happened so much, but it's when you bet on your team to lose, that's when you have a problem, because now you can really, really rig that result. It's a lot easier to lose than it is to win. Now, on a roster of 50-something players, a little bit harder to be the singular person that really helps the loss. I will say that. But I mean, he bet on his own team to win. The guy wasn't necessarily being extremely malicious in his attempt in his attempts to win some money. He just wanted to make some extra money on the side. And I don't agree with sports betting. There's a reason why we aren't sponsored over here at Shotgun Sports Network by any betting companies. We did have a deal lined up, and we decided to bow out of it based on our fans' responses. You guys see all these betting ads in your face all the time. That's the other thing.
We have a Play Alberta Field.
Play Alberta Field, okay? So, I mean, you got Sean Lemon here utilizing betting services that are already advertised even in his own stadium over there in Montreal. He's reinstated. He's already signed with the Montreal Alouettes.
A little hypocritical much, but
whatever. I mean, I'm just saying I can understand why he bet, and the fact that he bet on his own team to win and was like betting on himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you say, at least it was motivation, right? If he's betting for a win, he has to play good to make that money.
Yeah. I get it. I get it. I also get the little extra bonus part too, so I don't mind it. Okay. Jason does say green on this one. One for you there. One for you.
I'm just being, I like rules.
Yeah, and I like what Sinjin says here as well. If the leagues and teams are going to promote it, then why can't the players benefit? As long as you're not throwing games.
I feel like that's just a slippery slope, though. Like, I really do. And once again, there's so many Netflix specials that show how that's a really bad idea. Right. So I get it. I mean, there's a rule is there for a reason. I mean, this is just funny because he was just trying to it wasn't, like you say, it wasn't malicious. It wasn't anything that he was trying to throw the game or anything like that. So it's a pretty peculiar situation. But
I'm mad at him.
I feel like it's a slippery slope, really.
All right, let's move on to the next one. Once again, Herd Chat, get in on this, green or gold. All right. Next topic on this one is the touchdown plane above Commonwealth Stadium on game days. Okay. Larry Thompson has dispatched his fleet of planes on game days, and they fly above Commonwealth. And the one is a touchdown plane that drives pretty close to the stadium, I will say.
Flyby.
He did his own flyover. We don't need to call in the fighter jets from Cold Lake. We can just bring out our own fleet. So
don't need the military here. We'll do it ourselves.
Well, there is a military appreciation night, and I'm sure we're going to have the helicopters or something fly through. But amongst Larry Thompson's fleet. So what do we think, guys? Good comment. What do we think, everybody? Touchdown plane above Commonwealth Stadium on game days. Is it green or gold? I'm instantly saying gold.
Me too. Yes.
What are you saying?
Gold.
Okay. It's tough to really hate on it. I think that this was an easy one today.
It's pretty badass.
But we have to talk about something positive around here sometimes.
It is pretty badass. Although, I do agree with Sinjin. If we could score more, it would be awesome. But I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Just in general, I mean, I don't necessarily have the same appreciation for planes as you do, but seeing you get excited over a biplane was pretty good.
Okay, so we moved into this house here, and we rebuilt this studio, and this is our Studio V2. Around the corner is something I didn't even notice when we originally looked at the house. There is a bunch of mirrors with all of the World War I biplanes on it. Sopwith Camels, DR-1 Fokkers, all of it. And I love it. I love biplanes. I played a lot of biplane games growing up. There's one on Miniclip. I think that was really good. Shout out Miniclip back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I love biplanes as it stands. I noticed the one plane, and then all of a sudden, Graham is like, "Hey, look up, everybody! There's a touchdown plane," and I'm like, "What?" And then the smoke goes off and everything else. It's so freaking cool. My kids were super excited about the planes, but I think this is a gold.
That's from St. John.
And then Ryan Nervous does say, Jace says gold, and he can agree this time.
Yes.
So
yeah, no, it's pretty badass. I think it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. It's cool as long as we get the touchdowns.
Yeah.
And I mean, we need to see a little bit more of that. Yes, Newgrounds was really good, St. John. I miss Newgrounds in the gaming realm as well. Okay, thanks everybody for participating in green or gold. The last time for the night on that one. And now it is time for the final segment of the night. You know what it is. This is the Fan Forum. The Fan Forum is brought to you by the Argos Fancast. Join Clay, Will, and Sir Doug as they give you the latest from Argos Land. Right here on Shotgun Sports Network. Bit of a hiatus right now. They will be back soon. I'm sure they'll be in time for the Argos to make another Grey Cup run or something. Or for us to beat them and overtake them in the Eastern playoff wild card. Okay, so in this segment, we're going to talk about the hottest topics surrounding the Edmonton Elks and the CFL as a whole. Herd chat, blow it up, get your comments and questions onto the show. If you do have a question, please make sure that you throw it in the herd chat, and we would be happy to get it onto the show. Question number one here. Question number one. Opening up the Fan Forum. Recently, the CFL had a game. Recently, the CFL had a game between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Calgary Stampeders that was postponed due to smoke. After 3 hours of sitting in the seats and kicking around the stadium, not including the tailgate or pre-party. I know they don't have a true tailgate, but they have a pretty big pre-party out there. So about 5 hours potentially. Fans were finally sent home at 11 p.m. local time, only to be asked to return the next day. While the CFL and Saskatchewan Roughriders did make concessions, the main reason for this delay was player safety. Should fan safety be considered more in these scenarios? And what the Roughriders did was they allowed people to bring their own food because they couldn't restock the concessions fast enough. Whoever the local service, GFS, whoever, they can't come in and do the food delivery. So Riders said, hey, bring your own food from home, clean out the cupboards for our game. That's cool. Do your thing, right? They understood that they were going to take some sales losses on that. Whatever. No biggie. And there was also a ticket thing. So if you bought season tickets and that game was delayed for you, you got a $50 credit and your tickets were still good for the next day. If you had single game tickets, you were given another ticket to a game down the road, which is actually a 2-for-1 ticket, which is a really good value, especially in Saskatchewan. But were the fans considered enough when you make them sit out there? As per the CBA, you make them sit out there for 3 hours. And the levels were still extremely high, even when it was potential start, right? And you have the staff out there, you have the TSN staff out there. There's a lot of people involved, not just the fans, but we're doing this 3-hour limit thing because of player safety.
Yeah.
What about the fans that are sitting there for 3 hours? Should this time be shortened? Should it be more of a 2-hour delay? And if you can't play within the 2 hours, everybody gets sent home. What do you think, Catherine, on this?
Yes. I think 3 hours is too long, especially outdoors, right? It's not like it's BC that it's covered. You're just as exposed to the elements. But I don't know. It's hard to say. Obviously they were trying to do this. Just like you say, there's a lot of money that goes into every single game, right? You're thinking media, you're thinking, all of the fans, everybody that has to be involved with this. 3 hours does seem too long, but at the same time, I feel like people have the choice, right? People have the choice of leaving early. They don't necessarily have to stay. Like if it had been me in that position, I would have been out of there after like an hour and a half. Not gonna lie.
But you can't re-enter. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, at that point,
then what if the game goes on and you're sitting at home? I can tell you right now, if it's you and we go home, I'm going to be frustrated. I'm pacing that TV going, oh, I wish I was there.
At the same time, it's like 11 p.m.
Still,
So
the
you're
show must go
saying,
on.
I know, but what is this? What are you saying? That I'm not going to go home until like 2 in the morning?
Correct.
Craziness.
But now the halftime would be shortened. The TV timeouts would be shortened. Like a lot of things would change with the production of the game, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I really do agree that it should have been shorter. Like at the 2 hour mark, they would have been like, yeah, get out of here. It's too long. Especially, with families. If I had had the kids, yes, I would have been
Oh
out of
yeah,
there
no, and that's
100%. With the kids, I'm out. There's no way I'm exposing them to the smoke. I'm a little bit more concerned about that. For myself, maybe I would have stayed an hour and a half to 2 hours and then called it, right? Um, I mean, there's a reason why they do it like this, but I do agree that I don't think the fans were necessarily considered. Other people in a field that were not players were not necessarily considered. I understand that players have the physical element. They have to exercise, they have to be active, and that's going to affect their lung capacities and create more risk. But at the same time, have you ever been outside when for longer than half an hour when it's in that bad state of smoke conditions? It's
well,
horrible.
and I mean, I'm not
Horrible.
discounting the player safety side of it. I agree. Like, I mean, there's
Mhm.
a reason why people are inside, but you take a look at the players, they can go into the locker room. These facilities have HVAC systems that filter out a lot of this smoke, right? Usually you're running an internal fan to just keep from stratification, but you're keeping your doors shut in XYZ. Certain protocols, even with the stadium and what event coordinators are trying to do. I know a thing or two about the event world, and I know that for those scenarios, I could only imagine how fluid it is and how much of a struggle it is to try to keep certain protocols in place, XYZ, whatever.
Mhm.
The reality is that I'm not discounting anything to do with the players. I'm not saying play on either because I agree with that. I just kind of think that 3 hours is a little bit long. Like, and you're also asking a lot of people to keep, let's say with radio's continuing to talk, or maybe they'll switch over to other programming. TSN completely changed their programming. They just went right over to top 50 plays of the decade or something. It's or top 50 plays all time and top 50 worst plays of all time.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I mean, I think at that point I was accepting that the game was not going to be played
Yeah.
because I was walking around the TV. I was waiting for the game to go on. I was
Mhm.
kind of wondering, like, hey, what the heck is going on here? I want to see this game. I think a lot of people want to see this game. And
Mhm.
I'm not asking for them to push it. I agree with them postponing it. I'm also really happy that they didn't postpone it by multiple days.
Mhm.
Happy they got it
Yeah.
done the next day. Like, just get it. You have everybody there. Everybody has hotels anyways. You can maybe rejig your flights for, late night flights for everybody to get them home on the same day that they were supposed to. It might not be the exact same time,
Yeah.
but I think they handled it relatively well. I don't really agree with the 3 hour time limit.
It's a little too long.
That's in
Yeah.
my opinion. Let's take a look at our herd chat comments here, and I did see a question come in from Jason. So shout out Jason for throwing a question on our show. Let's go even up above that. I think
No,
no.
that's pretty much
Okay, yeah, no. Outside of locker room, the fans and players don't get much of a different experience. They are in the rain, smoke, thunder, hail, snow, just like the players in tights and short sleeves. So I mean, yeah, that's
it. Yeah.
a very valid point.
Yeah.
Ryan does say the cheerleaders were also out on the field the whole time. It drug on way too long, in my opinion. But Kathy's right too. People do have a choice, and you have them. You've also put the money out for the ticket. So that's the thing, right? You don't know if you're going to get concessions. You don't know if the riders are going to be good people in this
Mhm.
scenario. Obviously, people are going to complain.
Yeah.
I think we can expect complaints if the riders don't do something, and I'm happy they did. I think they went above and beyond for their fans. So,
Mm.
big shout out to the riders for doing the right thing on that. Sinjin does say, but 3 hours is quite long for sure. I
Mhm.
would love to see that be knocked down to 2 hours because then at least, like, I think for fan safety and of course the players as well, but for everybody involved, piss or get off the pot. Excuse
Yeah.
my French, but either we're doing this or we're not, and we're going to find the next solution,
Mhm.
right? And I know of dynamic scenarios like that even
Mhm.
here in Edmonton, and I see them firsthand when it comes to events, and things can change really, really
Yeah.
quickly. It's all about how you mitigate that disaster. Everybody goes home at 10 o'clock. You call it at 10 o'clock,
Yeah.
people are going to be way more inclined to come back at 2 o'clock, get a good night's rest, redo your game day rituals, because, hey, we all have game day rituals too. We're fans. Maybe you want to listen to your favorite song again. Maybe you want to try to do a redo. And I've never been a part of that scenario where the game has been postponed to the next day. We have been a part of a postponed when we flew to Toronto during COVID to watch the Toronto Argonauts play the Edmonton Elks, and the Edmonton Elks all got COVID.
Yep.
So we've been a part of rescheduled games, and that ended up being 3 games in 7 days for the Edmonton Elks at the end of a brutal season.
Yeah, I remember
so that was just every one of those games was a loss, and you were just like watching it really depressed, knowing that they were going to lose all those. It was just a really bad scenario, really bad. Okay. Ryan does say it went on close to 4 hours. Start time was 7 o'clock, and they canceled at 10:45. Way too long. An 11 start goes to 2 a.m. You've lost all your viewers. Yeah. So even closer to 4 hours, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That's seriously even worse.
Yeah.
Shut it down at
too long.
3 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours. 3 hours is even extreme in my opinion. Call it before then. Don't waste your money. Don't waste the resources. Call it. Kathy's a sleepy girl.
It's that time.
It's that time. We are getting close to the 2 hour mark, so it is that time.
Yes.
But let's get on to question number 2, and then we do have a question number 3 coming in from the fans, from the Herd Chat. Once again, really thankful for everybody being here tonight. It's not. This is fun. See, time flies when you're having fun, Catherine. Okay, number 2. The Edmonton Elks are currently sitting at 1-4 with a bye this week. Going to go undefeated on this bye. The team is struggling on offense, defense, and even special teams. Fans are becoming frustrated. Yes, we are. And with no real easy solution in sight, the Elks need answers, and they need them fast. Do the Edmonton Elks start Cody Fajardo within the next few games if Trey Ford struggles in his next start?
Oh, so you're saying that Trey Ford plays the next game?
From everything I've heard, from everything I understand, this next game is going to be Trey Ford's last chance for potentially a game.
Okay.
There's widespread speculation on this. It is potentially time to take a look at Cody Fajardo. Are we going to have a quarterback controversy? I think maybe that's the bigger question. So, Herd Chat, let us know what you think. I think if Trey Ford flops again, if he has a really bad game coming up, I believe that Cody Fajardo draws in for the home game against Hamilton.
I say half the game. Bring in Cody Fajardo in the half next game.
You're giving Trey half a game. Yeah. I like that. I think that's probably true.
Like, give him another chance. Give him, it's a bye week. Recoup, rest up. Do your homework on your own time.
Do your freaking homework.
And then show us that we can trust in you, right? And if it doesn't happen, then that's it. It's like, I hate it. I really hate it. I'm not a fan of this revolving door of quarterbacks that we have seen in the past. I really am not, because I feel like it just loses momentum. It loses chemistry. It's just too much. But clearly something isn't working. Right. And I'm not saying that it's entirely Trey Ford's fault. It's a culmination of every single little piece in this team, and we have seen it. But at the same time, you have to take accountability, because some of those are on him for sure. 100%.
And he did in that post game. Trey Ford did. He did own up to his faults in the matter, right? He did actually do a post game. Cody Fajardo did 880 Ched, and that's what we were listening to.
So yeah, that's what I say. I give him half a game. If he has himself a good game, then just continue with that. Right? He needs a little bit of pressure, I think, at this point. He needs a little bit of motivation. And Cody Fajardo right now might be the answer just to get us some wins. So it's hard to say, but I really do think that there has to be accountability.
Yeah, and I think it's a couple of things with this, right? You want to see accountability. It's also that thing that I was talking about a few episodes ago, where Trey Ford may need to step back, hold the clipboard, and listen and watch Cody Fajardo. Now that he's been in this spot for at least a couple games now, and now that he is indeed still the true starter for this team, he's still QB1. Even if Cody Fajardo draws in for a start, if Cody Fajardo gets a game, it depends on how he performs. Are they going to roll forward with him? You know, are they going to ride a hot hand? Excuse me. At the end of this season, Trey Ford is still going to be the quarterback that starts more games as long as he stays healthy.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that Fajardo drawing in would be a bad thing. I do think some pressure could be alleviated in this scenario for Trey Ford. He has now felt the pressure that Taylor Cornelius has felt. He has now felt the pressure that MBT has felt. This fan base frothing at the mouth and only loving you when you win. This is a thing, right? Take a look at Trey Ford was on the other side of this last year, right? When everybody's chanting, we want Trey. Everybody's chanting to bring in Trey Ford. But the tables have now turned.
Yeah.
People are calling for Cody Fajardo and Trey Ford as the starter.
Yeah, we know that's what happens with any franchise, any sort of fan group. They will always react. Everybody's very reactive, and they're gonna. We heard it too at the beginning of the season with Vincent Blanchard that everybody was like, "Bring Dean Faithful back," right? And now look at what he's doing, fantastic. So I don't think that we have to take it to that extreme for sure, but at the same time, like Trey Ford was always a risk factor because I said it before is we never really truly saw him play.
Well, and we are now. This was his floor. I don't know how much worse it could get. It could still potentially get worse. I think that's the concern. His game still could be worse. Now, benefit of the doubt here. I believe that this was Trey Ford's worst game. Why? Because this was the worst game I've ever seen in Commonwealth Stadium, besides a shutout.
But how many chances, right? How many chances do you give somebody until you realize that perhaps it's not the right time for him?
Well, no, but let's take a look at Ryan's comment here. Trey has never had a proper mentor. I think Cody can be that guy, but the team had had previously already made the decision. Trey was the starter this year. It's a tough call. He has a lot of learning to do. This is why I say it would be good for him to now step back, take a game with the clipboard, take a game with the headset, listen, watch, see what Cody Fajardo does. If Fajardo gets us the win, it goes to show what Trey Ford's not doing, right? Is he not stepping up in the pocket enough? Is he not, and because he's dropping back in the pocket way too far. I'll say that. He drops back and then he scrambles back further. That's what we saw on that massive loss.
But now, and here's the frustrating part, because we have talked about this for 4 games now, that he's been doing the exact same thing. Like, is it what is it? What is it?
Jordan Maximic, our offensive coordinator. It's your offensive game plan. And this is something that we've complained about for weeks. What is up with this game plan? And why are we not doing designed plays with Trey Ford's feet? That's how you catch the defenses off early. It's not by throwing a long bomb and praying for the best on a double coverage scenario. That's not what throws the other team off immediately. It's doing tricky things, but doing it to get the first down. You don't need to get the touchdown right away.
No, you don't move the ball down the field.
Run the goddamn ball.
However,
run the ball, run it by Rankin, run it by Leak, and sometimes run it by Ford too. If the game plan does not reflect the best things about Trey Ford, how do you expect the best out of Trey?
Yeah. And I think that was a big point in this game, right? That you saw in the plays that were happening, those were not Trey Ford's plays.
No.
He would have taken it a different direction, I think, if he had the chance. But and it's one of those things, like, how much do you really rely on the calls if you know that they're not good? Do you take it upon yourself at that point?
Well, he could go audible. He has that choice of starting quarterback.
And maybe that's a part of maturing and learning and all of that, realizing that it's a lot. It's definitely it's tough. It's a tough call. Because everybody, once again, all the fans want to be reactive and say, no, move him, Cody Fajardo, back in. This is not working. But at the same time, it's a process, right? And I said it right at the beginning of the season that as long as there is improvement, then you know that at least he's maturing and improving.
But
his
he's
plays.
taken 2 steps back now.
100%.
Right? In these 3 steps back, because even that last game before BC, it wasn't spectacular, but much to your point, we got lucky. There was a lot of lucky plays, right? The ball went our way, 50-50 balls got caught. It was exciting, but that's why it was exciting. It was because you're on the edge of your seat not knowing if this team's going to pull it off. And they almost didn't. So I think we've finally seen the floor. We got to see the ceiling next. And I think we will see the ceiling of Trey Ford this season as long as he remains starter. As far as Cody Fajardo drawing in as starter, I would say, and here's where I have the problem. I would almost say that Cody Fajardo may draw in for August 8th. So you have July 25th against the Riders. Then it's at home against Hamilton, Saturday, 1 p.m. As far as I know, Trey Ford has never started against Hamilton here in Edmonton. And that's his hometown team.
Right.
That's the team that he likes. That's another team he likes playing against. He wins against Hamilton. So do you look at historical records and odds with Trey Ford and maybe hope that in the next 2 games he pulls it together? And then against Montreal, in Montreal, maybe you start Cody Fajardo. You give Fajardo a comfortable scenario to jump in as starter. If Trey Ford can't pull it off against Saskatchewan and Hamilton, which are both teams that he generally does well against.
Sure, but at the same time, the Elks need wins.
But we know that this season is almost like we almost know it's a wash.
You don't want to go whatever, what are we, 1 and what would it be? How many games?
That would be like if we lose those. If we lose those, it's 1 and 7.
Exactly, yeah. Crazy, gross. But what I think this is kind of going back to St. John's point back in the chat is like as much as we want to see Trey Ford more, it's also about the wins. Right. And if it means bringing in Trey Ford for the first half of the game and then realizing that it's not working out, make a change.
Yeah, but
get the win.
But then let's say Cody Fajardo fails in that second half too. Then you have no. But then you have a direct point of failure. It's your coaching staff.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yes.
That would be your coaching staff at that point.
Yeah.
So if you know that Cody Fajardo can't conform to this playbook, which I like the idea of half. I think half is fine because you get a new game, so to speak. You get 2 more quarters. You get to reinvigorate everything. You're basically starting a new game. It's a new half. So I think that that's an appropriate time to start Fajardo if Trey Ford is failing. But I would say if there were a good time to bring in Cody Fajardo, I'm going to say that Montreal game. I think that you give these next 2 to Trey. You hope for the best because he can play well against both of these teams. He likes playing in Saskatchewan. He likes playing against Hamilton. It's his hometown team. It's a team he would have probably really, wanted to play for, or maybe would have looked at if it didn't work with the Elks. I think you give Trey Ford those 2. If he plays brutal in that first half against Saskatchewan, you start Cody Fajardo, who also played for Saskatchewan. And maybe Cody Fajardo finds the win off of that familiarity. Maybe that's some good feels for him, or maybe he has some animosity and goes out and throws fire. Now, at that point, if Cody Fajardo pulls it off in that weird scenario, and if that scenario does happen, maybe not weird, let's just say maybe unlikely. I don't think Trey Ford's going to have a stinker of a half. But in the event he does, you start Cody Fajardo and Cody Fajardo wins. Now we have a quarterback controversy here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And this is why they signed Cody Fajardo to a $200K plus deal. It's for this insurance. They needed insurance on the season. And you are right. If Cody Fajardo wins that next one, he might be starting at home against Hamilton. So lots of what ifs. We're still a bye week away. So we got lots of time to ponder and with anxiety and everything else.
Sadly, it's not up to us, and probably better.
We are not coaches. We are not professionals. We are the Elks Herd, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at Herd Chat comments here. They've also had a lot of coaching changes, which brings in new plays, lots of new players, and is obvious they aren't gelling yet. No synergy between them.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no cohesion. The team is not a full team yet. Unfortunately, this is a rebuild season where new top to bottom, the only similarities are the players, and really it's only some of them. Tyrell Ford's new. Uh, you got new players in almost every single position. Actually, I think at every position you have at least one new player.
Yeah.
So this team is new. Team is not gelled. Team is still but a fetus.
Yeah.
And so is like Trey Ford's abilities right now. Like he has not unlocked true potential. This last game was a stinker. We do have one more question.
This is gonna go to a 2.5-hour show.
No. We're gonna be done here right away. Don't you worry. Kathy's just stressing about that morning camper load, and it's gonna be fun tomorrow. Yeah, I'm excited. Hey, Red Bulls and energy drinks, and no, you don't do those. The question from Jason here in Red Deer, and her chat, let us know what you think on this one. What are your thoughts on the new paper plate show with Sanchez and Stiegel? Not Stegall. It's not Stegall, Catherine. It's not Milt Stegall, okay?
If there's one thing that we can just always rely on, is the fact that I'm not going to say somebody's name properly.
Milt Stegall. I'll never forget it. Still can't say it right. I know you can't.
No. We don't need to bring it up again. But yes, I don't know what that show
Milt
is, so I can't I don't know what that show is, so I can't chime in on that.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally have not listened to Paper Plates yet with Davis Sanchez and Milt Siegel. Davis Sanchez, friend of the herd, by the way. I think that it's good in general. We did lose the Waggle podcast, so unfortunately there is less CFL content out there by TSN bodies. To have Milt Stiegel come back, especially after the death of his son Chase, very disappointing. Obviously, couldn't imagine. Thoughts and prayers are always with the Stiegel family on that one, but it's good for him. It's great for Milt Stiegel. It's fantastic to see him back. I think that it'll be successful. I'd like to know, Jason, if you're still on, let us know what you think about it, because I do want to check it out. I will try to give it a listen, maybe even tomorrow in the Yukon while we head her down the road.
No.
So their first guest was Luke Wilson. I did actually see that. So obviously a heavy hit in first episode. Do recommend that everybody checks it out. Luke Wilson, obviously, he's been a subject on our show. Kathy keeps on deleting all of my Luke Wilson questions to guess. I can show you. I got the receipts. Kathy's like, yeah, can we get rid of this Luke Wilson question? I'm like, fine. Like, I know you don't want to get controversial today. But bottom line, any content coming back into this league to any fan base, it's great. Any notice is great. I think that fans need more content. That's what we do over here at Shotgun Sports Network. We love to provide as much content as possible to CFL fans. Quality content, as we say. That's why we were so frustrated when we could not go live last night. So, I mean, I think it's great. I'll go check it out. I'll give it a listen. Jason did love the first episode. He became a fan of Luke for sure after that one. So, hey, maybe it will change your perspective on Luke Wilson. That's I like that. So everybody go check that out. That is Paper Plates Podcast. Let's go ahead. Close the fan forum. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a good one. That was a fun fan forum. And this has been a fantastic show with everybody that's tuned in tonight. We see the amount of people that have watched tonight. We can't thank you enough. It's always great doing this show and getting to talk to CFL with some of our favorite CFL fans, fellow podcasters, XYZ. CFL is family. Say football's family. CFL is definitely family. And we consider you guys part of ours. So really thankful. Can't thank you enough. Herd chat. That one's for you. That was absolutely fantastic tonight. And with that, we are at the end of the episode. Just gotta say once again, thanks to our guest tonight, Graham Mosimann. He's fantastic. Go check him out online once again. If you missed the interview, you can go ahead and rewind. Big shout out to you, the viewer, the listener. Once again, you could be watching tonight on YouTube, live or on our Facebook, which is at the Elks Herd, or you could be listening on Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Edmonton Sports Talk, or wherever you get your podcast. We gotta give a round of applause and salute you. Thank you so much for listening to our show. Make sure you give us a like, give us a subscribe, a follow, all of that great stuff. Ryan, Sinjin, Jason, John, Jamie Fadoon, have a good one. Enjoy that tomorrow, and everybody else that's listening, all of our donors and everybody that supports us for the Elks Herd. My name is Scout, aka the Rep from Section X.
And I'm Catherine, aka Do Even Elks.
We are the Elks Herd. This was the Elks Call, and we will check everybody on the next episode. Cheers, everybody.
Have a good night.